Goku from Dragon Ball Super versus Heisei Godzilla from the Heisei era. Two of Japan's biggest icons go head to head in a fight. Who would come out on top and be crowned Japan's strongest character? Well, I don't want to say strongest character, but you got what I'm trying to say here, right, guys? Right? Doesn't matter. Anyways, I'm here to give you my thoughts and opinions on who wins this fight. Now, before I, get into the scaling for both of them, even though I made 2 different videos on them, which you should go watch. I do want to say, for this fight, I will be making 2 parts. For this part, I will be using base Heisei and Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And in part 2, I will use Burning and MUI. So, let's go ahead and jump straight into the fight. So, starting off with Goku. In Super Saiyan 3, it's been shown that Goku just merely transforming into Super Saiyan 3 was enough to shake heaven, hell, and the other world simply just by transforming, right? Heaven is shown in the Daizenshu guide to be comparable to the mortal universe in size, and the mortal universe is stated to be infinitely. Heaven and hell are also stated to transcend the concepts of space and time, so this could get Goku just in Super Saiyan 3 up to 5-dimensional. Now, I will say that is a bit of a high end, but if you don't want to use this high end, there's always a much safer option, which would be low multiversal, as since the mortal universe contains space-time continuums, and since heaven and hell and the other world are comparable in size, this would at least make this a low multiversal feat for Goku, because both heaven is stated and shown to be comparable to the universe in size. I also have the fact that Goku was shown to beat Majin Buu by using a Spirit Bomb. If I remember correctly, the Spirit Bomb was from the heavens, or like the other world. He was getting energy from there or something. Honestly, I kind of forgot, but he basically stopped Majin Buu with that. So I would put Goku above Majin Buu, as well as just in Super. He's flat out just shown and stated to be stronger than he previously was, and stronger than any other enemy he previously faced. And Buu is able to just effortlessly just scream through dimensions, aka the time chamber, right? He did this just by screaming. And it wasn't just Buu who did this, if I remember too, it was also a Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, who also just flat out screamed through dimensions. So this would be a baseline 4-dimensional feat, I guess. So that's pretty insane for that early on in the Dragon Ball era. In Battle of the Gods, Goku basically, we all know how he gained a new form, aka Super Saiyan God. Super Saiyan God basically allows Goku to use Divine Ki and Sense Divine Ki, or if you don't want to say Ki Energy. Super Saiyan God is shown to fight against Beerus, who in their clash was going to destroy the entirety of Universe 7. Now, as I stated before in the first part, Universe 7 does contain the other world, heaven, and hell, which are all comparable to the sizes of Universe 7, which is, again, infinitely in size. The other world is stated to transcend dimensionality, so this would be a quote-unquote outer feat, but that's more so the highest end you will get it, but it is consistently a 5-dimensional feat, as humans can't perceive the other world, but they're able to perceive 4D things, so this would, again, make this 5-dimensional for Goku. Which is pretty good for him. You also have the fact that if you don't want to use this 5D feat again, this is easily low multiversal to multiversal plus, as being infinite in size would mean that it would contain multiple space-time continuums, which would be low multiversal, but because of it being infinite in size, it could possibly get up to infinite space-time continuums, which should be multiversal plus. Also in Battle of the Gods, Goku was able to one-shot and merge attack from Beerus. And this was in his base form. During Goku's fight with Beerus, it's also stated that Goku absorbed the God form into his base form. And then after Battle of the Gods, we know how Goku was training against Whis along with Vegeta, and both of them gained a new form, which is called Super Saiyan Blue. And Super Saiyan Blue is basically stated in Resurrection F with Frieza that Super Saiyan God is basically the power. Super Saiyan Blue is Super Saiyan God with the power of a Super Saiyan, which would be a 50 times multiplier. So basically, Blue is 50 times stronger than Super Saiyan God. Also, in the Tournament of Power, Goku just... Tournament of Power. In the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 saga, In the tournament, we actually see Goku use Kaioken times 10 with Super Saiyan Blue to overpower Hit's time skip. And Hit was deemed the strongest warrior in Universe 6, which would put him above basically everybody but, you know, the Angels and the Destroyer, because he hasn't shown any potential feats. Now, him overpowering the time skip, which will be very important later on, but I'll get to that later. Then we enter the Goku Black Saga. Now, basically in the Goku Black Saga, Goku was kind of getting pummeled by Black. Let's all be real here, right? It was kind of obvious. I mean, it's also just directly stated that Rose is above Blue, but even with that statement, by their final fight before they merged, Goku was fighting at least on par with Black. You also have the fact that in a training match with Zamasu, Gowasu basically stated that Goku, he rivaled the power of a Destroyer, and Beerus got kind of mad at that. But here's the thing I will say about that statement. It's kind of out of line, because there's not really anything supporting that. So I would definitely say on for the much safer side that Goku is still below Beerus at that point. Now, however, there's also the fact that when Goku went Kaioken types, Beerus was kind of sweating, so if you want to, you're going to say they're at least equal in terms of power, which wouldn't be far off. It would actually be somewhat consistent with all the statements, and the fact that God Goku was able to rival a 70% powered Beerus, so it's not out of line to say that. We also have the fact that it's once again stated that Goku rivals the power of the gods in the exhibition match, and when Goku went up against that giant wolf, I forgot that man's name, but you guys know who I'm talking about, right? You should. Even if you don't, basically, he kind of, like, grew stronger with, like, each punch, and, like, grew taller and all that. Basically said that when Goku went, blue, the Supreme Kai of, was, what, Universe 4, basically it was like, Goku rivals the power of the gods, and then Goku kind of just like, yeah, and then I'm gonna multiply that power with the Kaioken, so you can use that to get somewhat consistent with it, so, you know, if you want to, you can. It doesn't, you know, it doesn't change too much, but yeah. I also do want to say that in the Tournament of Power, Goku with Super Saiyan Blue and Kaioken was able to overpower an attack from Kefla and Super Saiyan 1, because this was before he went Ultra Instinct. This attack is basically far above anything else Kefla's ever done, because we all know that Potara's increase your strength by 10 times at a baseline. So Goku kind of just casually overpowers that with the Kaioken. You can't overpower that in Blue because he was like, oh shoot. Then he's like, all right, I gotta turn Kaioken real quick. I mean, even Beerus noted that. He was like, yeah, Goku probably shouldn't have done that because it drains his energy, but, and then Beast goes, well, it was kind of like the only way, if that makes sense. I don't think I'm explaining this correctly, but honestly, I could care less if I'm explaining it correctly or not. But basically, from where I would scale Goku, I would scale him anywhere from low multi to multiversal plus consistently, and the highest would be 5-dimensional. And if you really want to go extreme, up to outer versal. And now we move on to Heisei Godzilla. Now for Heisei Godzilla, I'm going to be using both crossverse and inverse. Now, it's not going to be as long of a section as I'm talking about him as I did in the previous video with Heisei. But basically, it stated that if Mothra Leo from Rebirth of Mothra fought Mecha Godzilla, it basically stated she wouldn't be able to stand against Mecha's arsenal, which would put Mecha Godzilla over Mothra Leo in terms of just power. It's also stated that the only way for Mothra to win would be to damage Mecha from the inside by turning into, by basically shrinking herself. And then after getting the Run-In Fusion Amp, this increased Heisei Godzilla's power by 71,000 to 461,000 times the power he originally was at before the amp. Then he obliterates Mecha Godzilla with the Red Power Ray. The Red Power Ray is basically stated to be stronger than the Standard Atomic Breath. You know, that shouldn't really come, you know, as a surprise, especially with all the multipliers. But basically, he's above Mecha at that point. And in Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, it's stated that one cell of Heisei Godzilla flew into a black hole, spat out of a white hole, and absorbed multiple exploding stars, which has been calculated to solar system to even galaxy level, And of course, this applies to Heisei Godzilla as he beats Space Godzilla. We also have the fact that Space Godzilla is able to transcend the laws of physics, which would make him a 5-dimensional at a baseline consistently. To make this, 5-dimensional scaling even more consistent, you have the fact that Space Godzilla has a statement of using supergravity, and if you don't know what supergravity is, it's basically a high-dimensional weapon. So this would, again, make this a 5-dimensional feat. There's also a translation that said that Space Godzilla was above all dimensions. Now, again, this would be a quote-unquote outer feat, but it's a consistently 5D feat for Heisei, which, is pretty consistent, considering that all Heisei kaiju are above their Showa counterparts, and they're able to fight against 4-dimensional beings like Dolora, and Dolora can create a infinitely sized universal, space. You know what? Screw what I said. He can create 4-dimensional, infinitely sized universes, which would equate to low multiversal. Thank you. I finally said it. You guys didn't hear that, right? You guys weren't hearing me, stutter saying all that, right? Right? Anyways, but yeah, so basically where I scale both of them, the highest, the extreme highest ends would be outer. Heisei Godzilla's consistency is more than Goku's. Heisei Godzilla is at least consistently multi to multiversal plus, and his 5D stuff is way more consistent than Goku's, as he has one thing that gets to 5D, while Heisei on the other hand has multiple statements of being 5-dimensional rather than Goku having one statement. So I definitely think that Heisei Godzilla has the edge here, as well as the fact that he absorbs Space Godzilla's power into himself, and Space Godzilla has infinite power, so he's infinitely to 5D, while Goku would just be 5-dimensional. But let's talk about speed, right? So I know all you Goku fans out there would be like, okay, well, Goku's actually very fast, and Heisei Godzilla is actually very slow, so I'm gonna need you to shut up and don't ever talk to me again, because I'm gonna explain why. So Goku has, at the very least, infinite combat and reaction speed, as in the fight with Beerus. The shockwaves were traveling throughout the entire cosmos, and even reach outside of the cosmos into the Kai's realm. In the cosmos, I said how heaven, hell, otherworld are all said to be comparable to the size of universe, the mortal universe, which is infinite size, so this would be infinite in size. But then you're like, okay, well, how does this apply to combat and reaction speed to Goku? Well, Goku reacted to these attacks and nullified them in time, so this would scale to him. Now, this is a consistent infinite speed with Goku, but another thing is that Goku overpowers his time skip, which he states stops time for everyone except him and whoever, he doesn't use the time skip on. So this would grant Goku immeasurable speed, as he overpowered his time skip, but there's a couple of debunks to this, such as Vado saying he's not actually stopping time. He's gathering time and using that stored time to just move around faster. I mean, Hit also just explains that he's skipping 0.5 seconds ahead in time or so into everyone else, so he's not exactly stopping time, I would say. But yeah, if you want to wank it, that's immeasurable speed for Goku, I guess. But now we move on to Heisei Godzilla. So if you didn't watch my video, which you should, you would know that I have Heisei at immeasurable speed. Now, why do I have him at that? Well, I'm explaining. Basically, you say that we all know that Godzilla scales above Mothrilio, as Super Mecha is above Mothrilio, and Mothrilio can achieve immeasurable speeds. Space Godzilla is stated faster than anyone who has ever been shown on screen, which would get light to MFTL, and you can even wank this to immeasurable speed again. You also have the statements of King Ghidorah being able to transcend time, or the time barrier, I should say, which would get immeasurable speed as well. So this, and also just blatantly being, I think it was 4D to 5D stuff, just gets you immeasurable speed automatically, unless you have stuff proving otherwise. God, my grammar sucks today. But basically, who do I have winning in this fight? Now, I know I'm a Godzilla fan, and you guys are like, well, you're biased. I'm not just biased, I'm also an accurate power scaler. But if I get disproven, I will say I have been disproven. But however, I will have to give this win to Heisei Godzilla for multiple reasons. he has much higher consistent scaling in the multiversal ranges than Goku does. He has at least multiversal to high multi, or sorry, not high multi, multiversal plus than Goku does. Also, his 5D statements are far more consistent than Goku's is, as Goku only has one statement, and Heisei has at least, like, more than 3 statements getting him there. So, he's easily 5-dimensional, like, which is a lot more consistent than Goku, and then infinitely 5D as he absorbs Space Godzilla's infinite power into himself. So, you also have the fact, okay, I do want to mention some hacks here. You know, it's basically stated that Goku can, like, Saiyan's body, right, grow stronger with each hit they take. So this would give him at least, like, superior adaptation or something like that. But you see, Goku kind of sucks with this hack. Like, it's really not shown with him at, like, in the slightest. However, Heisei has far better hacks, like energy absorption, G-cells react to any situation. He has, like, high dimensional manip or something like that, as well as, like, gravity manipulation because of Space Godzilla. And he has plenty of other hacks. Like, he just has far better hacks than Goku does. So I really am just gonna give the win to Godzilla here. Like, if you disagree, then, like, you can tell me in the comments why you disagree. But just remember, this is Blue Goku and Super, and I'm not gonna use no overpowered Dragon Ball superheroes, because I know that verse is just overpowered, man. Like, come on. I think they would be the only, like, Goku verse that can stand up to Heisei. Then again, I'm not invested on the superhero scaling, so I can't confirm or deny that they would win. But, you know, if you guys disagree, tell me in the comments and explain to me why you disagree and why Goku wins. But thank you guys for watching this video. Go check out my scaling on Goku and Heisei Godzilla. And you know, we're getting pretty close to 300 subscribers. So if you guys, I don't want to be like one of those YouTubers, but if you could hit that subscribe button, you know, it would mean a lot to me. So thank you all for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.